Welcome to the American Dream, where we bring in the top experts in the real estate industry. And right now, with this time of COVID, it's even more important that we stay informed and educated to know what's going on in your marketplace. We have brought in amazing experts today, top award-winning real estate agents from 3 different states. I'm going to introduce to you Joanna Schlansky. She's from Boston. I've got Jen Singer from Portland and Martha Montel-Lewis from Nashville. Welcome, ladies.
Thank you.
Well, I want to start off. We'll just start with Martha. Let's talk about where you are in Nashville and who you service and how long you've been in the business.
Well, I'm actually here in Belmont, Hillsborough area, and I'm with Compass. I've been with Compass about a year now, and I've been in real estate a little over 10 years. But Nashville's strong. We just had a tornado about 3 weeks ago, and then this, and I can tell you, people are Nashville's a different community. They're very positive, as you know. I know you mentioned it's your second home, but we're still strong. We're still writing contracts. We obviously are trying to be mindful of everyone's safety, but it's still going pretty strong here.
Fantastic. Jen, talk about where you are in Portland exactly and how long you've been doing it.
So I've been doing this for 17 years. I'm with Keller Williams, Portland Central, right in the heart of Portland. And our market's still oddly going well as well. We're seeing lots of activity and lots of showing still because we're considered essential workers.
Oh, good. That was going to be one of my questions, is who's still essential? Joanna, I'm going to take it over to you. Talk about where you're at, how long, and are you essential as well?
So I am located in a town called Burlington in north of Boston. It's about 13 miles north of Boston. I've been in real estate for about 20 years now. And we were deemed non-essential up until about 12 o'clock today. And the governor came on and announced that we were considered essential workers. We can open our offices again and go in, even though they strongly recommend that we work remotely. But if we do go out there, we're allowed to do open houses. We're allowed to go out and do our real estate gig and do it adhering to the CDC rules and regulations.
And with those rules and regulations, Joanna, I'll just ask you, since we're already together here, how has it been for you with the stay-at-home orders? How is that affecting you and your business at this time?
So oddly enough, my business has been very strong and it still continues. We've had 4 closings in the last 2 weeks. And just yesterday we had one in the parking lot. So with the COVID-19 guidelines, the lawyers are in their cars, buyers and sellers in their cars, and they're passing papers through the windows. They're staying the 6 feet apart, and they'll be very cognizant of the guidelines of the CDC recommended. So we are making lots of changes, and we're doing lots of workarounds to make sure that nobody gets affected by this horrible virus.
Oh, it's fantastic. Martha, how about you over there in Nashville? How is the stay-at-home? How have the orders been affecting you and your business?
I'm with Joanna. It continues to flow. We have to be careful, of course. And so if I'm representing a buyer, they're allowed, if the home is vacant, they're allowed to go in by themselves. And I'll typically just be FaceTiming with them. But title companies are still open. Our offices are not. However, if you have to go in and do something essential, then that is allowed, but they are recommending that you stay home. Sellers, same thing. You're still seeing a lot of activity, especially in vacant homes, of course. I think some sellers are just nervous of other people coming in and just trying to be cautious. But oddly enough, we've written 4 contracts in the last 2 weeks. So I think it just goes to show how it's an essential part of business.
Well, and I'm excited to hear you share that, because I really want people to hear the positive of what's taking place and how you guys are holding people and business together. Jen, how has this been for you with the stay-at-home orders and how it's affected your business and your relationship with your clients?
So I think that a lot of things we've been doing are really about figuring out how we can just serve as a resource for our community during this time. While we're considered essential, the amount of time that we're supposed to be with clients, we're still supposed to be following CDC. Our people are not allowed in the house without a realtor. So vacant listings are definitely easy to show. Occupied listings become a lot more challenging. But for our community, it's cool because the little town, I guess it's not that little, the town that I live in right outside of Portland, we've organized all the same birthday parades for all the kids who are missing their birthdays. And so we're putting all those things together and just trying to give our clients and families and friends, the people that are nearby in our communities, really a place, some kind of normalcy, some kind of something that makes it feel not so lonely. And
Well,
so
and that's so powerful because this is a relationship business in the first place. So in a time like this, when there's uncertainty and fear and people are going through, all kinds of things, you guys are able to still show that relationship. You care, you're caring about your community. And even just knowing you're organizing the birthday parades, we see those on the news and it's so uplifting. And any chance that we have to bring joy and to bring light into what's going on, you guys have such an empowering position being in real estate to be personally connected to so many people. Joanna, I'm going to direct over to you. What does Boston look like 2 weeks ago compared to right now? What is that difference?
So interestingly enough, obviously things have slowed down. We would be slammed with business early, spring, lots of houses coming on the market, lots of buyers out there looking. But interestingly enough, I did a quick glance from the last 2 weeks, and this is week 3 at home for us. So a quick glance, just 21 towns north of Boston. There were 59 new listings that came on the market. And this is in the middle, just at the beginning of the stay at home, shelter at home. And then out of the 59, well, there were 59 new listings, 117 went pending and 102 were closed just in 2 weeks. So the wheels of real estate are still turning. I think now with us being considered essential workers, I think more and more people are going to be more confident and come out, but I'm a little bit concerned about that because I'm not sure whether that's premature or not. We will still work remotely and we will still adhere to the CDC guidelines, but real estate has not stopped
That's
in
fantastic.
the Boston area.
Fantastic. Martha, how about for you in Nashville? What have you noticed the difference in the last 2 weeks that things have gotten more intense?
I focus on my investors. I think now's the time here in Nashville. We were such a hot market that everything was going mostly for list price. I want to say it was 99.2% of asking. So that being said, you're seeing a lot of investors that are now, they know that now's the time to buy something and get a really good deal. And so the deals that I've been working on are mainly investors. We all know people want to sell and they're more motivated now more than ever. So I've really tried to tap into that clientele in terms of sellers that are living in their homes. I think they're going to wait it out. And I think most of them are going to, if they don't have to move, they're going to wait until next year simply because of school systems.
That makes sense. But still, what a positive thing for you to be putting out there of letting people know, here's what is selling, here's what it's looking like. Things are still moving, something exciting. If an investor was maybe wondering, oh, is this a good time? You've just given them such great information to know, hey, reach out. We've got this covered. We can fully do business. Jen, how about for you over there and the difference in the last 2 weeks?
I think the biggest thing that we've done, I mean, obviously we've had to take everything virtual. So, I mean, everything that we're doing, how we're doing walkthroughs, what we're doing, all of it's just it's almost become the norm, right? And so that's how we've done it is different. And then what our numbers are, the biggest thing we're seeing that's a difference is we're actually seeing homes that are coming back on the market. So they went off the market and then back on the market. And so for us, that's kind of rare here. We were a super hot market that came to like a screeching halt. And so to see that houses are still selling back on the market in 10 days and people didn't even do a home inspection or anything. So that's probably our biggest change is that we've seen a real increase in the number of homes coming back on the market. People are still buying, people still have to sell. Maybe we're not seeing all of the people who want to sell, but there are definitely people who need to sell and there are people who need to buy. So reach out, ask those questions and find out what your neighborhood's doing.
That's fantastic. Joanna, what would you advise to your clients right now?
So I agree with Jen. We are here for our clients. So I'm putting listings on too, and our market's a little bit slower now. We're not, instead of getting the 10 offers, we're getting maybe 3.
Right.
So some people think now that the real estate values are going to go down because of this, and we're telling people, listen, that $1 million house is not going to be worth 800,000. It's still going to be worth $1 million, but instead of having multiple offers, we're going to have maybe 2 or 3 instead of the 10. For my clients, I am staying in touch with them very closely, reaching out to them. I tell them all I have extra toilet paper. I deliver toilet paper every day to some of my clients. I'm here for them, whether they want toilet paper, whether they just want to talk, or they want some advice about real estate. We are here for them no matter what, and we are still working for them.
Well, that's fantastic. And again, because of it's a relationship business, you care about your clients, you all care about their as families and as individuals and about your communities. And that's definitely resonating through in the advice that you're giving. Martha, over to you. What advice would you give to your clients right now and just to put in that positivity of what the market's doing for you?
I would say now's the time. I mean, interest rates are historically low, and I lived through 2008. I got my license during that time, and I also had my first child, and then 2009 had my second. And so I remember how hard those times were, but I don't think this is going to be the same as 2008. I think if we look at the facts and we look at what happened with 2008, you had 840 billion, I think. I don't know the right number, but that was pumped into the economy. And now with the 2 trillion that is being pumped, what is worth $500,000 today is definitely going to be worth a lot more a year from now and 5 years from now. So I think now's the time for people to capitalize on this crisis, actually.
Yeah, it's just great positivity. I think that's why I love what I get to do here and hear this. We've got so many things that we have to worry about or care for or watching the news on other things. But here we get a chance to tell people, guess what? Now's the time. I love it. You said it. Now's the time. Don't hesitate. You guys are available. We have technology that allows us to do this. We're doing a TV show right now. We're all in our homes and we're saying we're here. We're ready to answer questions. You guys have been in this business a long time as we showcase. You're all experts. You've been through all of the different changes in the industry. This is no different. Now is the time to reach out to each one of you. And thank you so much for taking the time to come on and be with us today to answer these questions, and look forward to having more updates again soon as we continue moving through this time. Thank you so much, ladies.